21st of September, International Peace Day. What will you do?
My name is Claire Tchaikovsky and I'm an independent artist. When I found out about the organisation Peace One Day and their invitation for people to do something special for International Peace Day, it didn't take me long to figure out what I wanted to do. In the 15 years I've been in the music industry, it has changed radically. More music than ever is available, yet more artists, musicians, engineers, producers, labels are struggling to make a living than ever before, largely because of illegal downloads. I often hear comments from both consumers and people inside the industry like, nowadays people just want stuff for free, they don't care, or I don't need to pay for music because artists and labels are rolling in money. And outside of a tiny handful of exceptions, this just isn't true. To me, these conflictual thoughts are born out of simply not knowing each other. So I decided to begin to introduce music fans to how the industry actually works. This film documents a trip into a recording studio to meet the engineers, producers, artists and administrators who work there, mostly behind closed doors, and apart from the artists, mostly in complete anonymity. The legendary Windmill Lane studios in Dublin opened up its doors to us, and we were able to invite teenagers from both Northern and Southern Ireland to come in and find out what happens in a recording studio. This would be a day of discovery for all of us, when industry and fans meet as equal human beings and discuss our common love of music, as well as our views on what peace actually means to us.
I think it's been fabulous today because we've brought together a group from Northern Ireland, a mix of Catholics and Protestants, and they're here with a group of young people from Dublin mostly. And we rarely get that sort of crossover between the North and the South. And so to have them all together as a group and to be focusing on something other than themselves, to be focusing on music and the power of music, it's really amazing to see them all together and just talking naturally, chatting, finding out who their favourite bands are, and just seeing that there's something that connects them together beyond politics and religion.
I grew up in Belfast really through the height of the Troubles. I would have been in my early teens. I was associated with the Belfast School of Music, and it was the only non-denominational school in Belfast at the time. So it didn't matter where you were from, didn't matter what side of town you were from, what school you were, even what age you were in a class based on your ability as a musician. And through that, all through that time, I never experienced or never thought about where anybody was from or what religion they were. We just were all mates. He was either a good oboe player or he wasn't. It's a great thing. Music is a great way of breaking down barriers, both culturally, racially, and also, I suppose it says it soothes the savage brow. So every opportunity for me to bring music to people, I love to do it. And it's a great, like what we did today, you've probably never done anything like it and I'm probably not likely to do it again, but it shows you what you can do by just being together and by connecting, you know.
And probably what motivated me to come here was my love of music. And it's nice to come to be able to appreciate what happens then behind the scenes, what then happens, to be able to put the music, for the music to be put together and then mixed and played about with and then played back to me for me to appreciate it. It's nice to be able just to know what goes on.
You know, if I'm angry, I listen to, say, angry music and it makes me feel better, or if I'm happy, it makes me feel even better if I listen to happy music. Or if I've had a bad day, that's a great, just way to relax and have a good night's sleep and stuff.
Music for me, I'm not so much the most talented artist. I've only been playing 2 years. I always wanted to play. I'm self-taught, I just taught myself by ear. Half the time I don't even know the technical terms of what I'm playing. But it's a getaway from everything. Like, if you ever come home, you're stressed. Music, honestly, would be my main sense of peace. Like, it's something that just keeps me going.
I listen to music all the time.
Like, just, I think it's kind of a way to escape from everything, and like, just even if you're on the bus or something, just to listen to your iPod, like it's just to get away, and like you can be in your own world and everything, and like I think I'd be lost without music. Like the people that like we've met from up north and everything, like everyone's just been lovely, like to chat to and all, and I think just all coming together like to do this, it's just been great. Like
just like due to the whole conflict thing between the north and the south, like that wouldn't be like part of mine, but I know for my dad, like he grew up in the whole type of situation. I think especially like nowadays it's not that bad as it was, like, but to integrate with other people like from different parts of Ireland and stuff like that, and meeting together, like it was a big kind of peace thing for me.
Possibly beautiful, is that 'cause I'm waiting? Is that 'cause I'm looking, or is it just 'cause you are? You're impossibly beautiful, is that 'cause I'm waiting? Is that 'cause I'm looking, or is it just 'cause you are? You're impossibly beautiful, is that 'cause I'm waiting? Impossibly beautiful, right? That's 7. Give me another phrase that you think you could pick for a song. Can somebody play a chord? Candy now. That's an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I love that you know, the fact that you were singing this song Impossibly Beautiful to us, because I feel like there are a lot of people who don't realise how beautiful they are. But I'm just wondering, like, where do you get your inspiration from?
But sometimes the best inspiration is when you come to a big realisation yourself through a life experience, when you really learn something. That learning point, that's like, wow, yeah, that's right, and then I really write it down. That will probably make its way into a song, definitely.
Pieces about all these different people coming together with all their differences and seeing one goal, that they want people to come together, they want people to be as one, and they don't want violence. And whether that comes to a resolution, there doesn't have to be a resolution. They just have to see that you know, there doesn't have to be violence. They can accept people for who they are and for their differences, whether they like it or whether they don't. They don't have to.
I think a lot of people with student pieces, no conflict, no fighting, no arguments. It's like a place where it's safe to argue and like without dehumanising the other person. And yeah, it's to be at peace with yourself, and that's the only way you can be at peace with others. So you have to find like a personal way to be at peace with yourself before a situation can be peaceful.
My mum's American, and you know, I've had people in my house from all different cultures. No, it's never struck me, you know, just to judge someone or whatever, or by who they are. It's never really hit me. So, you know, I think it's weird that people would just kind of, you know, have that mindset, you know, towards someone because they're different. I think that's just really weird. You know, they're people. So I just think just people coming together, getting along, doing what we're doing, just having a good time.
With regards to the illegal downloading and talking to the people behind the scenes, you realise that although, you know, you think that peace is some grand thing throughout the world, peace is not robbing off your neighbour. Peace is not, you know, not destroying an industry by basically stealing from them, which is in a way waging war against them. And you don't really think about that until you see behind the scenes and you see the truth of it all.
I guess the illegal downloading was kind of, you know, I suppose everyone does it. I didn't know it had such an effect, like you were saying, it's basically crippling it. I didn't know, because if you go onto the website, they'll say free, legal, blah, 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 and you read all the things, and it's like free download and all that jazz now. But just to see its actual, you know, ripple effect that it's doing on everybody, like it starts on the industry and then it goes out to the artists and then it goes out to, you know, it affects everyone in the end, and, you know, so I just think you know, think more than twice about if I'm going to do it again, you know, so.
I suppose in the last 5 years, because of illegal downloads, I mean, a lot of the bigger studios are certainly feeling the effects, but the artists are feeling the effects of it, but so are the recording studios, unfortunately. So music is an energy. And when musically that energy is coming together with an orchestra, everyone starts to feel it. The musicians start playing better. They're warmed up. They get into it. They start believing in the piece of music. And the producers and engineers totally wrapped up in it. Our industry is about 80 years old. Elgar recorded, the first commercial recording happened at Abbey Road Studios. And that started it off. That was in the 30s. So we're about 80 years old, this industry. But it is, we have accumulation of knowledge over the last 80 years. It's very easy for that knowledge to be lost. All it takes is for the next generation not to happen. And everything that we've learned over all that inherited experience. You know, I've learned off older producers, wonderfully talented people, and my students are learning off me. Break that chain, just one link goes missing, and all that wonderful knowledge will have disappeared.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dionne Warwick!
Make yourself comfortable.
Today, we're all very excited that you're here.
Yeah, I am too.
And thank you for coming.
I know you've done a lot of humanitarian work in your life. What made you go into that, to do that work?
My grandfather was a minister, and he always told us as we were growing that he felt that God put us all here to be of service to each other. And I lived that life. I don't think I could ever imagine a world without music. We'd be in a sad place, you know? Music it's a healing, loving, giving, caring emotion. And all of those take place when you, kind of lose yourself in what you're doing.
You were the first female African-American to win a Grammy?
No, but I don't know where that story came from. It's that I, of my peers, was the first to win 2 simultaneous Grammys, and the highest of the Grammys, the female singer of pop and also R&B. And the only other female to do that is Ella Fitzgerald.
Did you find a lot of racial hatred or just general sexism against you?
The only time I kind of experienced any racism really was when I started touring for the first time.
And when do you feel most at peace? Is it when you're with friends? Is it when you're in the studio? Are there times for you that are...
Stress is a word that I do not allow in my vocabulary. Can't is a word that doesn't exist for me. So, I'm at peace all the time. What you see now is what you're going to get all the time. That's peace. And something that can't be broken. I think the first of all is you got to like yourself. I love me. Yay! I really do. And that is something you all should, feel. That you are very important, not only to what people see, but to yourselves. And when you accomplish that, you ain't got nothing to worry about, It's just, you thank God every morning you get up, first of all, and you're able to put one in front of the other. And when you're putting one in front of the other, you're accomplishing something. So get to know you.
As she said, you have to love yourself, she said, and that was one of the 2 things that really stood out for me, just to love yourself and love what you do. And also the second thing she said was, if you can think it, you can do it. And that was really, really amazing, because I think that's a phrase that I'll just have to remember for a long, long time, because it's really, really true. Because if you have a picture in your mind that you want to achieve, if there's something you want to do, it's right. If you can't think it, I'm sure it is very, very possible if you have the ambition, the determination and the motivation. So there's a lot of special things I'm able to take away from Dionne as well.
And I also really enjoyed what Julia Feeney was talking about the need to sort of go into oneself to find one's creativity. And I feel that's really important for the young people to hear, that they're, for whatever, they may not get involved with the music industry at all, but my belief is that they're all artists and they're all creators. And so for them to hear from an artist,
you know, the importance of going into themselves, silence, reflection, and coming out of that place with something they can present to the world. I think that's something the music industry really has to offer the younger generation, to say, look, dig deep into yourselves to find out who you are and what you have to offer.
September 21st is Peace Day. What will you do?